Indian defense updates. $700 million BrahMos export. Pralay capped for Armenia. Kaveri engine flight clear. Okay, let's have a look. This is slightly a different kind of video.
The central government has formed high-level committee under Defense Secretary to look into overall capability
Ooh, this looks cool.
development of the Indian Air Force through indigenous design development and acquisition projects.
Okay, so basically more effort towards R&D. Okay.
India is all set to sign a $700 million export deal with Vietnam for the sale of BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles in
That'll be cool. That's the second one after Philippines, and they're right across the ocean from Philippines. What is that? South China Sea? Nice. Good strategic placement of a very nice missile.
next few months. The BrahMos NG missile will enter flight trials by the end of 2025. A prominent
Okay. This is actually very cool, but I guess they're in their fast update mode. But a supersonic cruise missile from launched from air is a very powerful missile with a range of like what 300-400 miles.
A prominent defense analyst has expressed skepticism regarding the export potential of the Tejas Mark 1A,
Okay.
saying that the light aircraft category is a shrinking market and that
Okay.
many foreign air forces are favoring medium-class fighters. India and Kuwait have elevated their ties to a strategic partnership, and the two sides also signed a key pact for defense cooperation.
Interesting. Okay.
RRP Innovations
Ooh, what's this?
secured a 102 crore rupees order from the Ministry of Defense for the supply of advanced long-range thermal imaging cameras.
Okay.
A retired Pakistan Navy commodore has claimed that Pakistan could achieve nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarine capabilities as early as 2028.
Well, they claim a lot of stuff. Massive, like, warehouse of salt.
Indian Navy's INS-2 SEAL frigate has arrived in London, marking its first port of call on its inaugural
Ooh,
operational deployment.
pretty. Boom.
India and Vietnam are inching closer to seal a significant $700 million deal involving the acquisition of the BrahMos missile system for both the Vietnamese Army and Navy, and both nations are currently working.
Oh, okay. I am keen to know like the details of, I mean, whatever publicly available stuff, but the details of the Navy deal. Because, like, are they gonna still have the missile batteries, like the land batteries, or are they gonna jerry-rig the Vietnamese Navy ships to have the missiles on board the ships? Ooh, that'll be different because the Philippines only has the BrahMos on land battery. Like, there's land versions, there's a sea version, and there's a air-launched version, like we saw earlier. But as of now, only the land-based launching version has been exported. Oh, sea-based would be very sick.
Working diligently to finalize procedural and technical details. The Vietnamese Defense Ministry has already reviewed and discussed the initial techno-commercial details shared by BrahMos Aerospace, and the draft agreement, which includes specifics such as the total deal value, delivery timelines, and payment terms, is awaited by Vietnam to move forward with the formal signing in the next few months.
Ooh, that is cool. I wanna track that news or the development of that news.
The DRDO is planning to test an export variant of the Pralay tactical ballistic missile with a capped range of 290 kilometers. This range modification aligns with export regulations to ensure compliance
Okay.
with the missile technology control regime for non-member countries such as Armenia. In addition to
Ah,
range
okay.
modifications, the DRDO is also preparing to test a twin launcher configuration for the Pralay missile system
Oh,
that will allow a single launcher to carry and deploy two Pralay
so this will be somewhat in the like perfectly in the same category as the American, what do you call that? HIMARS system with the 8 ATACMS missile. I think that's the correct one. Yeah. So Pralay will be the same class category, weapon, like payload capacity, range. Okay, interesting. And a launch, dual launch configuration. Okay.
missiles. In a major development, the gas turbine research establishment has announced that the Cavalry engine has been cleared for in-flight testing. That marks a pivotal moment in the long journey.
This engine, unfortunately, has been struggling in and out for, I think, upwards of 20 years now, or like maybe somewhere around the mark of 20 years. One of those like things where you hear about a thing and you hear about a thing and you hear about a thing and you get old hearing about the same thing, and then it's meanwhile it's not happening. This time, this is the, I guess, the second or the third time it's like, oh, it's about to happen, it's about to happen. I hope it's actually about to happen this time. There's been weight reduction work done on it. There's new afterburner section being put up to it, put attached to it, which I believe is from Brahmos Aerospace. So the same guys who make the stuff for the supersonic missile, which is wildly successful. And yeah, there's been work done to increase the thrust capacity to meet the requirements. Hopefully, it's good enough to actually, be put in a combat aircraft or like the Tejas or something else, which it is like its intended goal. Technically, right now, the jet engine is good enough to fly on a plane. It's just the plane itself will have to be much lighter and much less capable. Like, you could put this engine in a trainer aircraft right now and fly it. It'll work just fine. But that wasn't the intended role for it. It's supposed to go in a fighter jet. And that comes with different kind of, fuel requirements, efficiency requirements, thrust requirements, weight requirements. So yeah, hopefully they get there.
Of the project. The next phase involves mounting the Cavalry engine on a flying test bed for real-world performance evaluation. That includes testing the engine's response to various flight conditions, its integration with aircraft systems, and its overall reliability in dynamic environments. Dassault Aviation and Indian Air Force have started work on integrating the Astra Mark 1
Ooh.
air-to-air missiles on 36 Rafale fighter jets
Okay.
and
That's good. That's good. That will give you a combination of a really good platform as like the Rafale and a good, decent range, modern technology missile, which you won't run out of. Like the French missiles on the French plane, yeah, you're gonna run out of the French missiles. An Indian missile on a French plane, you're not gonna run out of it. Your factories can churn out more very quickly. And like the turnaround time is gonna be very low. So that is a very good program to work on from a technical logistics scenario. Scenario? Yeah, scenario.
Reports indicate that captive flight trials will start as early as mid 2025 to test the missile's compatibility with the aircraft's hardpoints, aerodynamics, and initial system interactions.
Ah, okay. So as far as I know, captive trials is where you just attach the missile body on the aircraft with the weight inside. I don't think you have all the fuel and all the what do you call that, explosives in it. Maybe you do. As far as I understand, it should be inert, but with the same weight and weight distribution. And all the plane does is just lugs it around. Like you just attach the missile, the plane flies around with it. You put some sensors on in and around it, and you see how it shakes and moves and how the air flows over it. You come back, land, you go through the data on the computer. Then next you do a drop test where again inert, you have sensors, you take off, fly with it, and you just drop it like a bomb, and you see how it separates from the plane and maybe how it glides. And then finally you put in the fuel and maybe you put in the explosive payload in it and then you fired it. That's, I think, the third test. And I think each of them, like each phase has multiple tests. So that's how usually you test a missile.
Dassault Aviation is also developing a software patch to ensure seamless communication between the Astra Mark 1 and the Rafale's radar and other onboard systems.
Yeah, that is very important, by the way, to have software compatibility. Because if you don't have that, the things are just not going to work. That's good, smart. Good video, actually. I enjoyed. Great video.